Hello and welcome to the I Do Wedding Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Nina Adio, a social media marketing expert specific to the wedding industry. On this show, I discuss tips to help you DIY your social media, as well as getting the confidence and income to outsource it. Thank you for allowing this episode to come through on your Bluetooth, your car radio, wherever it may be you're listening from today. Now, let's take your wedding business to the next level. Hello, everybody, and happy Sunday if you're listening to this when it comes out. And welcome back to the I Do Wedding Marketing Podcast, episode 61 and day 28 of our 30 days of podcasting. Can you believe we have done it and we are doing the darn thing? I'm pretty excited for the week that's to come. I have the Engage to Engagement workshop, my first ever workshop, guys, happening Wednesday. So that's such a big deal, and I'm really excited for that. I'll have all the information on that in the show notes below. It's my first ever workshop where you'll get to chat with me and Carissa Cruzy Weddings, and I'm just going to tell you everything I know. So it's a steal of a deal. $47 a ticket, and you get to work with the two of us. I teach you my organic engagement strategy, and Carissa teaches you her content strategy we're trying to show you how you can create impactful, meaningful content quickly. And I show you that when you're really targeted and specific with your social media engagement, that a little can go a long, long way. So that's what's happening on Wednesday, September 14th. But today, what I wanted to talk about is not waiting until engagement season to start investing in your business. Okay. Why am I talking about this? Well, one is now is really the time where it's good to start to get this on your mind. Fall is coming, October, then November. Once we're in Thanksgiving, that's when, to me, we're in engagement season. I know it's kind of more officially, there's not an official term, but Christmas to Christmas to Valentine's Day. But for me, I like to be prepared from Thanksgiving to Valentine's Day as when I see the uptick in activity. So don't wait until engagement season to start investing in your business. So waiting until engagement season to start investing in your business is like shopping for Christmas gifts the day before. It's rushed, it's compromised, and you're getting what's left instead of what you need. I stress having your business's online presence ready to go by engagement season so that you can spend that season doing what you do best, and that is catering to your couples. Engagement season, kind of like I said, may vary for some. For example, an invitation designer, a photo booth company, you may be booked at a later stage of an engagement, but I still think it's important to have your best foot forward during this window because it's when there is a lot of interest and activity and people are thinking weddings and plans and engagement and all the things. So, not all of what you can do to get ready is going to even require an expert or investment. So, I always like to kind of give you that option to do some things yourself. So, here's what I want to talk about and have you consider about your business's online presence before engagement season. So, I'm really focused specifically online. And the first thing I want you to think about is your website. This is the most important because your website is where all of your clients are led to, or at least in a more traditional sales funnel. The support I offer clients in social media, it's all designed to bring a couple to the website to inquire. If you invest in services like The Knot or Wedding Wire, legitimate leads often go beyond the platform and to your website to inquire. Other investments like SEO, Google ranking, and keywords are also designed to bring people to your website. So, what am I saying here? This means that you can invest in all the right things. I did my social media, I did my SEO, I did digital listings. But if your website is dated, jumbled, unprofessional, maybe chaotic and hard to follow, then none of these investments can overcome it. Or if they do, you're only getting a fraction of them because your website is turning people off. So, in episode 32 of the podcast, I sat with a web designer for wedding professionals, Ariel Teakin from I Do Design Studio, and she shared the features that your website needs to have. So, listen to that episode to get more details. But I'll say here it's important that your website has a legitimate domain, is easy to follow, and is updated because I do see many outdated websites from established wedding professionals, meaning they've been in the business, over 20 years, and the website kind of shows it. And here's what I encourage you to do if you're feeling like you may be in that boat. Try to look at your data, explore it, because when you meet with a web designer, some of them are able to take you to your analytics on the back end and identify how many people are leaving the site quickly, how many people are filling out your contact form, and then together you guys can create a website that is going to lead people to the contact form. So that's where the pudding is. That's where you want everybody to go, because then those leads are your leads. They're not connected to Instagram. They're not connected to the Knot. You can access them on your own then. You have their information. It's yours. Because sometimes with these online platforms, what we want to remember is that if you only communicate with a couple through Instagram DMs, I mean, what happens if Instagram is down, or the Knot or something else? So you want these people in your house on your website. Moving right along, next I want to talk about those additional listings I mentioned, like the Knot, or maybe you're listing with a local advertiser. So before wedding season, I'd like to make sure all of these sites are current. And that means in terms of the content, like the written words, the photos, and the links. I see constantly people who are on the Knot and their Instagram links don't work, or the website link doesn't work, or the website link brings you to Facebook and not to the website. So it's important to have all of those working, especially because you're paying for these sites. So you want to make sure you're getting the most traction out of them. Also, I truly believe and see that modern couples know that in addition to your reviews on these sites, they can get a real good idea of your business through social media. So you always want to have the window open to lead people there from places that are not your website. So that means from Wedding Wire, The Knot, etc. You want them to go to your places after that. So you want to make sure your website is working, Instagram, Facebook, and so forth. And really, the reason why I'm including Instagram and Facebook as to the links you want to have live on the Knot is because they have those icons for it. And it's a big part of kind of their funnel of what they offer you. So that's why we can take advantage of that and get people on the Instagram, which if you're working with a social media manager, or if you've implemented your own strategy, your social media is working to get people to the website. So it's kind of part of your own funnel you've created through all of these others. Now, let's get to preparing your social media for engagement season. You want to audit what is already there. So, in episode 4 and 5 of the podcast, I break down how I audit my social media profiles. So, I won't reshare it here. I'll keep this episode shorter, but you really do want to be looking. One thing I'll say off the bat is I'm looking at the tagged photos, and I'm eliminating tagged photos that do not include my business at all. So, for example, I have venues who are constantly tagged in photos from other venues of vendors just trying to get more traction. And I don't want that on their page. So, that to me is an important audit to do. So, if you're looking for a professional eye to audit your profile, I do take consultation calls where I prepare an audit for you. So, if you want to get together and to collaborate on that, you can check that out on my website, idoweddingmarketing.com. And then another thing to look for in terms of social media, as well as what's on your digital listings or on your website, as well as any outdated photos. There are venues that I know where I look at the photos that are on digital listings and Instagram, and it's old photos. They've redone the room and those photos don't show it. And the reason why they're not catching it is because they're just hyper focused on their stuff. They're focused on their website. So as their social media manager, my eyes are on everything. So by giving you this strategy of going over everything in engagement season, hopefully this is something, if you don't have that extra support of someone who's looking at it, you can map this out and look through everything and then take those old photos down, because they can also come to haunt you, because sometimes someone will be like, where is the glass room I saw on social media, and then it's not there. But this also leads to part of the work that I do before engagement season, and that's with gathering content. So before engagement season, and really it can depend on the availability of the people you work with, but before engagement season, at least probably around now, September, October, November, so where I contact all the vendors a client has worked with that I have record of to ask for photos. So an email may look like, hi, you were at our venue for such and such date for this couple. We had a great time working with you, and we'd love if we could share any of the photos you took with credit. If you're able to grant us album access, we would be appreciative. And I say album access because this way I can call images that work best for my vendor. If you're a florist, obviously you want ones with the flowers. If you're a venue, you want ones where the venues look good, and it saves the photographer time as well. So that's just based on their own comfort level. Typically, if you do good on your end and you share with credit, you should not have a problem. So that's a great benefit of good social media, is that people see that you are vouching for the vendors on it and willing to share their work at the same time as yours. So it really works for everybody. And I do have some photographers who will send me albums whenever they shoot at a venue, but some much prefer to do it in one shot like this. Also, for gathering content, this could mean taking photos of your own. It could mean investing in stock images or purchasing images to use on your social media going forward. And it can mean doing a real big deep dive on what's been tagged at your venue. So I do this much more frequently than just during engagement season, but I am constantly looking to see what's been posted at the venues and to see when the brides or grooms have posted, to see what they're posting, and then to ask if I can share it with credit. So I love being involved in the couples themselves. Now, if you're not a venue, you do know what venues your work has been at. So I would be looking up those venues to see if footage from the event showcasing your work came up. So in addition to content of being, photos, it also means captioning. So having the brand identity is huge. And I did talk about this before on an episode 2, episode 14. But really what I like to do, so if you're looking for more though on it, go to episode 14. But I love to put all of my content, which is all of my terms on the website, all of our sayings, the whole story of the business. I like to have on the website, whether it be on those web pages and blogs. And from there, I'm breaking down what's on the website to be using on social media, on the not listings, as a caption, and so forth. So the hard work is all on the website, and that's kind of where it lives. And then when I'm telling the story further on social media, I use that as a consistent guideline of the business's brand and the business's really identity and story. So now that we've checked our profiles, we've updated our content, we've gotten new content, and we've made sure all our links work and all our information is correct. Now you can consider starting to schedule. What can you schedule ahead of time? And scheduling can even mean starting to post. I wouldn't post everything if you got 30 new photos, I wouldn't do 30 new posts today. Like absolutely I would not. But I would start to think of what I can start to do now to help me up for later. So Email blasts, that's something you can start doing in scheduling. Blogs can be done in advance. Social media content. So prepare now for your posting that's going to happen through the season. Now is also the time to consider if you'd like to work with an expert like myself to start your social media. And it's best to get started at least 3 months before you want to really start seeing results. So, if you really want to start amping things up by Christmas, then you want to start posting by the end of September or October. And that's because, especially with an organic method like I do, it takes time to build up the momentum and the groove. You can consider investing in doing some Instagram or Facebook ads. So I would really recommend talking with an expert on that. For what I do, I would start posting now through engagement season. So you really want to be looking into a 6 month at least content strategy that's going to get you through from September all the way to February at least. I mean, I think, of course, that a business should, if possible, be posting. I mean, I think they just should, not if possible. I think you should. Okay. I'll just say it. I think you should be posting on social media all the time, nonstop. Even my seasonal venues, we post nonstop because people are getting engaged nonstop. But I'm framing it this way because I'm going in assuming you're not posting. And I'm telling you that before engagement season, I would love for you to start. So this way, people see that you've been at it, that you're doing the damn thing, that you've done the work, that you're a reputable business, that you have beautiful work, that you have couples who love working with you, and it's all there. The proof is in the pudding on your digital listings, your digital profile, your digital presence, your social media, it's all there because they can see everything's updated and taken care of. Kind of the way to frame this really is that the first impression and the shopping happens online now for weddings. A lot of that shopping is happening online. Very often you will have, or sometimes rather, you will have people who went to a friend's wedding and worked with you, and that's great, but that's not always what's going to happen. Some people don't like to use the same person a friend used. Some people really want their own identity. And so, from having that online presence and making sure everything is looking good and is prepared, you're able to make the best first impression possible. And by grooming them now and building that trust now, then when they get engaged in December, January, February, you're already ahead of the game. So, this is really about getting you ahead and you ready. So, this way, when the leads start coming in, you don't have to worry about anything else. That's already set up, ready to go, and taken care of, either because you scheduled it out, you developed a system, you developed a schedule, so forth. So, that is what I have for you today on getting ready for engagement season beforehand. Don't wait till you're busy to do it. Or if you wait, you may not be busy. So we want to make sure you're busy. So start now. If you haven't purchased your ticket for the Engage to Engagement workshop, you better hurry, guys, because I will close it out if it gets to be too many people and we could be getting near that line because I do want it to be intimate so you can really ask questions and learn. So make sure you purchase your ticket, and I will see you Wednesday.